Now let's talk about Hamster Kombat and how much you can make on the platform if you have been mining. Either you are a legend, meaning you've mined for 5 months, or you are just starting about 2 weeks, or you are just even starting now. There is a price that can come to you based on what we are going to go through. The first place I want you to look into is what Hamster themselves discussed on their platform. It says, we are happy to announce that the total supply of Hamster tokens will be 100 billion coin. But as a beginner, the rational question should be, what does it even mean to have a total supply of a coin? Total supply refers to the total amount of coin or tokens of a specific cryptocurrency that has been created or mined that are in circulation, including those that are logged or reserved. This is what we call in stock as shares. That's the total worth of your shares, what you will be worth in terms of that token. This is the overall of it. So for Hamster Kombat, they are setting these overall to be 100 billion coins. The major reason for this is once these tokens are allocated, let's say all of us now share, maybe I have 1 million, you have 1 million, you have 1 million, you have 1 million token, and all of us have 1 million token. Once it gets to 100 billion Hamster tokens, there is nothing that can come on it, which means the value of that token skyrockets. For example, if you are wondering, if you have ever wondered why is Bitcoin on 60,000 value and then Ethereum that is following it is about $2,000, just look at this on CoinMarketCap, and I tell you, I'm trying to explain to you the price of Hamster Kombat for this season. I'm going to give it to you based on all of these little calculations I've done. I'm just showing it to you if you're a beginner so you understand the whole process. Now you can see here, Bitcoin's price today is $57,000 over, and then Ethereum is 2,280. Why is it that way? And then you can see all the prices of all others, because once the total token that had been allocated is finished, you cannot get new ones, so it becomes more valuable. And because Bitcoin started earlier, what they allocated then looked so big to them when the market is starting, unknown to them that it was going to go this viral. And as you can see, with roughly 1 million Bitcoin yet to be mined out of the total capped 21 million that is left, the remaining portion will be gradually released over time, with the final Bitcoin estimated to be mined around 2140. The reason I brought you the total supply is so that we can now calculate this to get what each Hamster Kombat token will be worth. If you remember that the platform already claimed to have over 300 million players, and we can see that with 36 million subscribers and 55 million members on its Telegram. And by the way, that already increased already. Since the announcement of the launching, they've grown more. But what I want you to understand is 300 million users, very well. 100 billion of total supply, very well. Keep those two figures in mind. And then let's see how this is going to be distributed. Now, this is a detailed tokenomics breakdown. The total supply, I already told you, is 100 billion. For the token generation event, approximately 65% of the total supply, equivalent to 64 billion hamsters, will be made available. This substantial initial allocation set the stage for the token market debut. Then the player rewards, which means me and you, notable 75% of the initial supply is estimated for players reward. Specifically, 60% of the token will be allocated for players in season 1, and then an additional 15% for season 2. The only reason is after launch, a lot of players are going to quit. They're just going to take their money and, that's it, dispose of the token. But Hamster doesn't want the value of their product, which is their token, to go very down. Hence, the brain behind them reserving 15% of the total token for season 2, which means people that would miss out on season 1 will have more confidence to go in for season 2, which means the token will retain in value. And you see here, it says this focus underscores Hamster Kombat's commitment to incentivizing users' engagement and participation, because they already launched so many games and they want you to keep playing and enjoying that while they rake in the money from adverts and all. But that's not all. The allocation, other allocations as well, are here. The team, which is their team, will have 8%. Partnerships and grants will have 6%. Liquidity 4%. Marketing 4%. Binance launch pool has 3%. I'm going to speak more about this launch pool before I finish and practically even show you how you are going to do it, because it's a great way of gaining tokens, Hamster tokens, for free. And personally, I'm waiting for the Binance launch pool to launch Hamster Kombat. It's going to start the farming on September 19th. Citizen is already up presently as we speak. Let me show you that in my Binance. So you see, if I go to launch pool, you can see now Citizen is ongoing. You can join. They still have about 3 days, 6 hours to go. Dogs as well, when it launched, it also had the launch pool. And this is just an incredible way of getting tokens for free. Now, let's get to the real deal, the one I think you're going to be really interested in. I'm going to start my calculations based on what happened on dog. And here the dogs tokenomics says the total supply of dogs was 550 billion. Remember that, 550 billion for dogs, 100 billion for Hamster Kombat. And here 81.5% went to the community, which is everybody that mined. 10% was set aside for the groups and upcoming project. 8.5% was designated for listings and liquidity, and that was what was supplied. And on average, CoinCap recorded them at about 0.001. That was around the range they launched with, and as I press time, it had gone really down to 0.0009. You see, the coins will always go down, and then later it will pick up. You can see immediately after launch, it went up, and then it came down. And from what we have here, that's about 13% drop in price. And from dogs, I could deduce that anyone who has about 10,000 of dogs has access to, if we calculate that, if you have 10,000 dogs multiplied by 0.00111, technically, you have about $11.1. That's what it meant on dog, plus or minus. Now, on Hamster Kombat, the calculation on it is going to be a little different, because their own metrics, the points, the allocated points, are not going to be really specific. But this is what I'm going to tell you. If you have about 1 million profit per hour, you should be expecting about 1,000 Hamster Kombat tokens. Let me say that again. And these are all speculations based on what I see. You know, I'm not part of Hamster team, but I'm saying this so that you will have specific expectations. And this, my guess, I guessed it from the lower end. It's not going to be worse. In case you want to go and buy a car or something, you will know what to price or the type of car to price. If you have 1 million profit per hour, minimum you should have about 1,000 Hamster Kombat tokens. Very well. So if you have 10 million profit per hour, among other things, then you should have about 10,000 Hamster tokens. Now, going for the volume and the price of what pre-sale market did on Bybit for Hamster Kombat, Hamster Kombat should be around 0.07. And like I told you, this is like on the lower side. It can still go as high as 0.10. Now, if I'm to put this in perspective, so you know how much dollars you are expecting, let me put it up here. If you have about 1 million profit per hour, that's about 1,000 token of Hamster. This is the lowest. Remember that. I'm saying it repeatedly so that you will know. A lot of things can come into play, like the friends you refer, the number of times you come in every day to do your event. You know, they are calculating theirs based on points, and I can't really tell what each point will be. Even keys. There are rumors that if you have over 300 keys, they are going to really clamp down on you. But of course, I know not everybody use bots. They are really trying to go after those that use bots to generate their keys and all of that. But let's say all things being equal, 1 million PPH is 1,000 tokens. And if this comes at a whooping rate, we multiply that by 0.07, which is the lower end of this. It can go to 0.1. And then I put equals to, this is $70. If you have 1 million PPH, $70. Now, if we want to do it on the higher end, if you have 1,000 tokens and then multiply that by 0.1, that will go higher a little, $100. So for people who have 2 million PPH, they will end up getting about 140, 150 or 200. For people who had 5 million PPH, they end up collecting about $350 to $700, you know. So no, I don't think my mathematics is correct. Let's do that again. If you have 5,000 times 0.07, I want to be really clear so nobody will quote me. 350, okay, that means I'm correct on that. But if you have 5,000 multiplied by 0.1, that will be 500. Okay, so if you have 5 million pph, that's about $500. For people who have about 7 million, you just calculate like that. I am almost certain that it's going to be around 0.07. So that's just what it is going to be, provided you are not blocked or banned. You should be getting, if you have about 5 million, you should be getting around 500-ish something and above. And with the news of Hamster trying to clamp down in the die minute on those that use keys, if they remove eventually those they can trace that use keys, then this means this money will go up again. Because as a press time, out of the 300 something million users, only about 36 million are active. And about the 36 million, if they end up removing those that use both, almost on a certainty, half of that figure is going. So the figure I'm providing now is what I have done today. If it changes tomorrow or next or anytime it changes, I will also make the video based on the information we were given. The reality here is, at least now you know what you should expect. Be aware as I speak to you right now. You need to get your pph to about 1 million minimal, so you can get about $70 from this. I'm very sure a lot of us are going to think that this money is small based on these dollars, and I agree with you because the country is hard. Please, if the money is small, just help me make it and transfer it to me after Hamster pays you.